Despite the fact our friend had vouched for us, it was clear that Michael Lynch still didn't trust us. I supposed I couldn't blame him. My husband Sidney and I were, after all, British ourselves. We were also rather famous, or infamous, depending on how you looked at it, for exposing a nest of traitors and solving a number of highly publicised murders. It made sense that the man in charge of munitions for the Irish rebels would be reluctant to talk to us, though it certainly didn't help when Sidney persisted in making snide remarks. "Why not? It would undoubtedly prove more effective than these homemade bombs your men keep using in their ambushes." Alec and I joined Lynch in scowling at him. While it was true I'd read the same newspaper articles criticising the Irish Republican Army's use of makeshift grenades and explosives in their ambushes of the Royal Irish Constabulary barracks and patrols, I knew better than to rile the man, not when we needed answers from him. "Maybe so," Lynch retorted, "but the men aren't exactly trained in handling dangerous chemicals. I've already got men sticking gelignite beneath their shirts next to their skin in order to thaw it out faster so it'll ignite, poisoning themselves in the process. Not to mention a recent experiment with a lacrimatory gas, which exploded in one of my men's faces and blinded the lad for 20 minutes. He arched his thick dark eyebrows. "You were in the war, Mr. Kent." This was common enough knowledge, given Sidney's status as a war hero and his recently being decorated with the Victoria Cross. "So tell me, how often did the poisonous gas that was released blow back in the men's faces when the wind shifted? How often did it fail to do anything whatsoever, except create panic?" This was a point well taken. As horrific and terrifying as poisonous gas was, more often than not its deployment had been less than successful. Lynch shook his head. "Nah, Mr. Kent, phosgene would not be my choice. Not unless, like I said, you British used it first." The way he said British was more of a curse word than a descriptor. "As the leadership fears they might," I interjected, letting him know we were well informed of their concerns, as well as put some metaphorical distance between us and the Crown forces and British government they were fighting against. He grunted non-committally, eyeing Alec as if he were the source of this information. But while Alec, and the man he now worked for, Michael Collins, the Director of Intelligence for the IRA and Minister of Finance for Dáil Éireann, the Irish Republic's shadow government, had filled us in on a number of matters related to Mr. Lynch's work, they were not the sources for that particular tidbit. Rather, we'd learned it from two of our contacts inside British intelligence, which had intercepted a letter detailing the IRA's belief that, since the British had used poisonous gas on the Germans during the war, that they might use it versus the Irish rebels, and so they needed to be able to retaliate if necessary.